Students, today I am going to teach another theorem. The theorem statement is, if A is non-singular matrix of order n, then we have to prove the following 6. Okay, so see the statement here first. If A is non-singular matrix of order, non-singular matrix means whose determinant not equal 0, and we can find the inverse of the matrix. So using that condition, we have to prove the following 6 equalities. Okay, so here I am using the given statement. Since A is non-singular, already it is given, A is non-singular matrix, A is non-singular matrix, so we have det A not equal to 0. Let A not equal 0. Why? Because it is non-singular matrix. Now I am going to prove first one, right? So what we have to prove? Adjoint A inverse equal to adjoint of A inverse equal to A by det. So first I will prove adjoint A whole inverse equal to A by det, and then after I will prove this, right? We know that to find A inverse, how to find A inverse? 1 by det A into adjoint A. 1 by det A into adjoint A. Right? By taking the determinant at left hand side, you will have adjoint A. I am writing in this way. I am sending det at left hand side. You will get adjoint A equal to det A into A inverse. Right? Now taking the inverse on both sides. Next step, I am taking the inverse on both sides. Whole inverse. Adjoint A whole inverse det A into A inverse whole inverse, right? See here, A inverse is a matrix and det A is a value, constant. You will get det A means it is a value of matrix, so you will get some number, so it is a constant. And we know one condition, already we proved in the previous theorem. Lambda is a scalar and A is a matrix. Whole inverse is equal to 1 by lambda into A inverse. We know this condition, so I am using this condition here. This is lambda and this is a matrix, so you will get adjoint A whole inverse equal to 1 by det A. Why? Because I am considering this lambda det A as lambda into A whole inverse equal to 1 by lambda into A inverse. A means here A inverse whole inverse. That implies adjoint A whole inverse is equal to, you will get 1 by A into A inverse whole inverse is again A. Why? Because we know that A inverse whole inverse is again A. Right? We proved this first one. Now to prove this adjoint A inverse equal to A by det A, again we have to replace A by A inverse in this. I am taking this as 1 in 1. So what is 1? Equation 1 here. In place of A, I am replacing by A inverse. Adjoint A inverse equal to det of A inverse whole inverse. In equation 1, in place of A, I am replacing by A inverse. So adjoint A inverse equal to det of A inverse whole inverse. So that implies adjoint A inverse is equal to A inverse whole inverse, and det of A inverse, we know that 1 by det A. A inverse whole inverse, again A. Already we proved this theorem. Det A inverse, to find the det of inverse matrix, you can find the det A and write in denominator 1 by det A. That will be the value of det of A inverse. Already we proved this in previous theorem, so I am using that. So from these two already I proved this, and again I proved adjoint A inverse equal to B. Therefore from these two equations we can write adjoint A whole inverse is equal to adjoint A inverse is equal to A by det A. So first one is proved. Now to prove second one, To prove second one, we know that A into adjoint A. Already we studied in previous theorem. Adjoint A into A equal to det A into In. By the previous theorem, we know this equality: A into adjoint A equal to det A into In. Right? Now I am applying det on both sides. So det of A into adjoint A is equal to det of adjoint A into A is equal to det of det A into In. Right? So I am taking only this equality. So by separating the det, you will get det A into det of adjoint A. So I am taking only this equality, this one and this one, that equal to. So here det A is a value. That is a value, and this is identity matrix. So the value is multiplied with the identity matrix. When you are finding the determinant of this identity matrix alone, you will get only one. Identity matrix determinant is 1. When the scalar is multiplied with this matrix, and if it is a 2 by 2 matrix, then you will get by taking this scalar outside, you will get det A whole power n, depending on this order. If this identity matrix is 2 by 2 matrix, then you will get det A whole square. If it is 3 by 3 matrix, you will get det A whole cube. Right? And identity matrix value is 1. Okay. If any scalar is multiplied with identity matrix, and if you find the determinant, you will get that scalar to the power of the order of the identity matrix. So order of the identity matrix is n. So I am writing det A whole power n. Now sending det A at left hand side, this det A. Sending it right hand side, we get det A whole power n by det A. That becomes det A whole power n minus 1. So this is second one. Okay, right. Now I am going to put third one. What is third one? Adjoint of adjoint A equal to det A whole power n minus 2 into A. What we have to prove? Third one. Adjoint of adjoint A and det A whole power n minus 2 into A. Right? And we know that here, to prove this, we know that for any non-singular matrix, any non-singular matrix B of order n. Here I am taking matrix as B. Any matrix, you can take any matrix. I am taking B, matrix of order n. We know that we have B into adjoint B is equal to adjoint B into B is equal to what? Det B into In. We know this condition. In previous theorem we studied, but in place of B we have A. So here I am taking B. Right? So by taking B, here I am putting capital B equal to adjoint A. In this equality I am putting capital B equal to adjoint A. Then we get adjoint A. Here in place of B I am substituting adjoint A into adjoint of adjoint A. So I am taking only this equality, this one and this one, or you can take this or this. So I am taking first one and last one. So in place of B we are replacing by adjoint A. Det of adjoint A into IN, right? No. Already we know that det of adjoint A. In second one we prove that det of adjoint A is equal to det A whole power n minus 1, right? I am substituting here. So adjoint A into adjoint of adjoint A is equal to, in place of adjoint A I am substituting this, det A whole power n minus 1 into IN, det A whole power n minus 1 into IN. Now pre-multiply means multiply from left hand side. Pre-multiply both sides. By A. We get A into adjoint A into adjoint of adjoint A. A into adjoint of adjoint A is equal to A into det A whole power n minus 1 into IN, right? Now using associative property, here I am using associative property for this and for this. Here we have the bracket, I am changing the bracket. A into, by using the other associative property we can change the bracket. A into adjoint A, adjoint of adjoint A equal to A into det A whole power n minus 1 IN, right? So we have A into adjoint A. By the condition we know that A into adjoint A into adjoint A into A. Here see B into adjoint B into B equal det B equal to IN. So we got A into adjoint A. Here A into adjoint A we can write det A IN, right? By this condition, A into adjoint A, already we know that condition. By that condition, A into adjoint A we can write det A into IN into adjoint of adjoint A into or n minus 1. Identity matrix, no? Identity matrix into any matrix against any matrix, right? Again IN into adjoint A, here A det A into adjoint A is equal to A into det A whole power n minus 1, right? IN matrix into any matrix, again same matrix you will get. I am sending this determinant at right hand side. You will get adjoint of adjoint A equal to A det A n minus 1 by det A into A. That implies adjoint of adjoint A is equal to det A to the power of n minus 2 into E, right? This is the proof of 3. Now fourth one. What is fourth one? Adjoint of lambda A is equal to lambda to the power of n minus 1 into lambda. So I will write fourth one. Adjoint of lambda into A, lambda power n minus 1 into adjoint A, where lambda is non-zero scalar. Right? To prove this, we know that to prove this, we know that adjoint A equal to adjoint A is equal to det A into A inverse by the inverse matrix. A inverse is adjoint A by det A, no? So adjoint A equal to, I am writing det A into A inverse. A inverse equal to adjoint A by det A. So I am sending det A right hand side. So you will get adjoint A equal to A into det A. Now replace A by lambda I. I am replacing A by lambda I. So you will get adjoint of lambda A is equal to det of lambda A into lambda A whole inverse. Lambda A whole inverse. So adjoint of lambda A is equal to, so lambda is a scalar, A is a matrix of order n. So when you are taking lambda outside from the determinant, so you will get lambda power n scalar, and the power is the order of the matrix into det A. Here scalar and a whole inverse. When you are taking scalar outside from the inverse, you will get 1 by lambda into A inverse, right? So that equal to adjoint of lambda into A is equal to lambda power n by lambda is lambda power n minus 1 and det A into A inverse. Det A into A inverse is equal to adjoint. So in place of det A into A inverse, we can replace by adjoint. So adjoint of lambda A is equal to lambda power n minus 1. In place of this, I am replacing by adjoint. Okay, I proved fourth one. Now let me prove fifth one. What is fifth one? Adjoint of adjoint A. Adjoint of adjoint A equal to det A to the adjoint of adjoint A. Det of adjoint A equal to det A whole power n minus 1 whole square, right? To prove this first one, I am using 3 by 3. Third one by 3. So what is 3? Adjoint of adjoint A equal to det A by 3. We know that adjoint of adjoint A is equal to det A whole power n minus 2 into A by 3. We know that adjoint of adjoint A equal to det A power n minus 2 into A. So by taking determinant on both sides, I am taking determinant on both sides. Taking det on both sides. Adjoint of adjoint A is equal to det of A power n minus 2 into A, right? Det of A power n minus 2 into A, right? So that implies this is a scalar and this is matrix. When I am taking the scalar from outside from the determinant, so you will get det A n minus 2 whole power n scalar to the power of the order of the matrix into det A. So what you will get here? And det A whole power n minus 2 whole power n into det A, right? So adjoint of adjoint A is equal to det A whole power n minus 2 whole power n into det A. So det A whole power, sorry, here multiplication into n, right? So you will get n square minus 2n into det A. right? That a whole power n square minus 2n. Here what is power? Power 1. So plus 1. Base to the power base to bases are same, power should be added. So that a whole power n square minus 2n plus 1. So that a whole power you can write n minus 1 whole square. Adjoint of adjoint A is equal to, this is fifth one proof. Okay, here see here it is that on this one. Here I used this a power, suppose x power m whole power n is equal to x power mn. Okay, I am using that exponent form. Right. Now proof of sixth one. What is sixth one? We have to prove adjoint A whole transpose is equal to adjoint A transpose. Sixth one. Adjoint A whole transpose is equal to adjoint A transpose. Right, we have to prove this. Again we know that A inverse is equal to 1 by det A into adjoint A, 1 by det A into adjoint A, right? I am using this condition by the inverse definition. Now here replace A by A transpose. Replace A by A transpose. We get A transpose left hand side. A transpose whole inverse is equal to 1 by A transpose det adjoint of A transpose. Adjoint of A transpose, right? That implies A transpose whole inverse equal to 1 by A transpose adjoint of A transpose, right? That equal to adjoint. I'm sending this at left hand side. So right hand side you will have adjoint A transpose is equal to det A transpose into A transpose whole inverse. A transpose whole inverse, right? A transpose whole inverse. Now det A transpose, and we know that A transpose determinant and A determinant are equal. If you find the transpose determinant and the matrix determinant, both will be same. So det of A transpose I am replacing by det A inverse in place of A transpose whole inverse, you can write A inverse whole transpose. Okay, A inverse whole transpose. That implies, right? Now here we can write this det A into A inverse whole transpose. Det A whole transpose, no problem. Det A whole transpose is det A, both are equal, right? Now det A into A inverse means we can write adjoint A by det whole transpose. Now det A cancel. This will be adjoint A whole transpose. So what we got? Adjoint of A transpose is equal to adjoint A whole transpose, right? Now this is the sixth proof. These proofs, 6 proofs are very very important, so keep it in mind, right? In next class I will teach some problems in exercise. Okay.